Hey girls, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications to see all of my future videos. Welcome back to my nail channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing some 4th of July nails. So I have most of the products that I'm going to be using for this tutorial right here. I have already prepped my nails on my left hand and applied some full cover nail tips. I am not buffing the surface because I don't plan to leave these nails on long. For the dip liquids, I'm using Dip Base, which is number 2, the Activator, which is number 3, the Bella Vena No Wipe Gel Top Coat, the Cuticle Oil, which is number 6. I am also using red, white, and blue dip powder, so the colors that I am using is Grenadine, Beautiful, and Soft White. I am also using a French dip powder tray and my cuticle pusher. I'm also using a small eyeshadow brush and a lint-free wipe with some acetone. So I'm going to start by using the blue and white dip powder. Here's a little close-up. I'm also preparing my dip base, which is number 2. I'm going to start by doing my pinky nail, and I'm doing a vertical ombre, so the left side is going to be blue and the right side is going to be white. So I'm just taking my dip base and applying this to the entire nail. Then while the dip base is still wet, I'm going to quickly take my eyeshadow brush and dip it into the blue dip powder. I'm going to start tapping that blue dip powder onto the left side of my pinky nail. You do want to make sure not to pick up too much dip powder in your eyeshadow brush, otherwise it's just going to dump a big amount of dip powder onto your nail, which will not allow you to ombre perfectly. So once I have the blue how I want, I am going to wipe the eyeshadow brush off and then dip into the white dip powder and start tapping that color onto the right side of my pinky. Here's what the nail looks like. I'm going to tap away the excess dip powder. As you can see, I kind of messed up the tip of my nail. That's okay, I'm gonna fix it. So once that layer is dry, I'm going to take the Unicorn Fluffy Nail Brush and dust away all of the excess dip powder. And I'm going to do the same step again. So I'm going to take my dip base and apply a thin layer to the entire nail. But this time I'm applying the white dip powder first because I want the white powder to stick to the part that I messed up from the blue side. Then I dip into the blue dip powder and apply that to the left side. Alternating your dip powder colors like this is very important to get a perfectly smooth ombre. So if you're having issues, make sure to alternate your colors to get a good even coverage. For my next nail, which is my index finger, I'm going to do an ombre of white and red. So the left side of my index nail is going to be white and the right side is going to be red. So I'm just doing the same steps that I did for my pinky, but I'm using different colors. And of course, I'm doing a second layer of that dip powder ombre. I really like how this nail turned out. The pinky nail I'm not a big fan of, but I think I did pretty good on this finger. This is my first time ombreing with solid colored dip powders, so it was a lot harder for me to do this ombre than it was for me to do the glow-in-the-dark dip powder ombres that I did. If you haven't seen those videos, I will link them up in the corner as well as the description. It honestly is a lot easier to ombre with glitter dip powders because the glitter kind of hides the imperfections of your ombre. So if you're having a lot of issues ombreing with dip powder, try to do a glitter dip powder. So here's how the nail looks once I dust away the excess dip powder. And for my thumbnail, I'm just doing a regular dip powder application and dipping into the red dip powder. I am of course doing 2 layers. So now I'm going to be doing the fun ones, so the dip powder marble nails. I am taking the white dip powder. As you can see, I had a little bit of the red dip powder to contaminate my jar. So I'm going to try to pour that part into the French dip tray. You can honestly use whatever container that you can find where you can dip the entire surface of your nail into the dip powder like this. The best thing that I could find was my dip powder tray. So now I'm going to take my cuticle pusher and scoop up the two dip powder colors and pour them over the white dip powder. So you do want to make sure the white dip powder has a very smooth surface, so make sure to tap that on the table to get a smooth surface. I'm sprinkling this in little sections onto the white dip powder. I am kind of doing like little zebra stripes of color. Because I'm only doing one layer of the dip powder marble, I do want to add a base coat to my nail, so I'm just doing some basic dip powder application and dipping my nail into the white dip powder. This will also help the color stand out on your nail and be a little bit more vibrant. While that layer of dip powder dries, I'm going to take my cuticle pusher and gently kind of marble the colors together. It's up to you, it just depends what kind of design you want for your nail. I did take the fluffy nail brush and dust away the excess dip powder, and then I'm going to apply the dip base to my entire nail. Once the dip base is applied, I'm going to turn my hand upside down and stick my nail down into the design that I created. You do want to make sure that the entire nail surface is pushed down onto your design, otherwise it's not going to pick it up. And then I'm going to dust away all of the excess dust, and I'm going to do the same step for my ring fingernail. To effectively do this marble design, you want to make sure that the colored dip powder stays on the surface of the white dip powder. If you start mixing your dip powder colors too much with the cuticle stick, you may push some of the color down into the white dip powder, which will cause the nail not to pick up the design correctly. So you do want to make sure that the colored dip powder stays on the surface of the white dip powder. So after I dusted away all of the excess dip powder, here's how the nails look. I'm going to take the 000, which is the clear dip powder, and I'm going to do a basic dip powder application to encapsulate all of my nails and prevent me from filing off the ombre and the marble design. After the nails are dry, I'm going to dust away all of the excess dip powder. The next step is to take the activator, which is number 3, and apply this very generously to all of your nails. This step is very important because it allows the layers of dip powder to fully dry and be ready to be filed. Next, I'm going to take my hand file, which is from the 12-piece manicure buffing kit that Double Dip has, and I'm going to gently reshape my nails. As you can see, I do have a short almond nail shape today. And then I'm going to take my portable Bellavina e-file, and I'm going to be filing over the surface of my nails. I am using the fine grit arbor band and a speed of about 5,000 RPMs. You can also use a buffing block or a hand file to do this step. After all of the nails are filed and shaped, I'm going to take my Bellavina No Wipe Gel Top Coat and apply this to all of my nails. I usually like to do a gel top coat to finish off my manicures because I personally love the smooth finish that it gives, and I feel like it's a lot shinier than any dip top coat kind of thing. This is a personal preference, do whatever you feel like. And the last step is to take the cuticle oil, which is number 6, and apply this to all of your cuticles. And here are how the nails look. I hope you guys enjoyed my first 4th of July nail look. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. See you guys in the next one. Bye!